Hi everyone, so in today's video I'm going to show you how to repair a hole in your exhaust silencer. This particular silencer is off my Land Cruiser Prado and it recently failed its MOT for a number of reasons, but one of them was there was a hole in the silencer which causes an exhaust leak, so I need to repair that. I did actually try to repair it when it was still on the car, but as you can see, I've made a bit of a mess. The welder was just blowing through, and this is because I think all of this material here is quite badly corroded. Although it looks shiny on the surface, I think underneath it's quite bad. So to repair this, I'm going to make a big patch and weld it on to a more solid bit of the silencer, and that should cover the leak quite well. So the first step in this repair is to cut yourself a steel plate. So this particular stuff is 2 or 3 millimeters thick. It's just stuff I had lying around, and I've cut it to size already. I used a bit of cardboard as a template to mark out the size of steel that I needed to cut. And the next step is to bend this to shape so it fits nicely over the area that we want to patch up. So to bend the plate to shape, I'm going to use a hammer and an old log. The shape of the log is actually perfect for creating curvature. So you basically just need to hold it in place and hammer it, and using a process of trial and error, you can get the shape of the steel plate to match the silencer pretty well. I'm also going to use a few G-clamps to clamp the plate onto the log so that when I'm hammering it to shape it, the plate stays fixed relative to the log so that I can actually bend it. Okay, so after a bit of bashing, I've got the steel plate to a pretty good shape. So what I'm going to do now is tack weld it on, and then when it's kind of welded in place, I can make very slight adjustments to the shape just to make sure it's all flush all the way around before I seam weld it just with the hammer. But as an initial fitment, I'm pretty happy with that. It's worked quite well. There is a little bit of a gap at the side here, so once I've tack welded it on, I'll get that with the hammer. So I'm using a TIG welder to do this, but you don't necessarily need a TIG welder. I've done this kind of repair with a MIG welder and it worked just fine. My particular setup I'm going with at the moment, so I've got it's an AC/DC 170 amp TIG welder, but I'm only using, I've got it set to 60 amps max, but I'm using a foot pedal. This will just let me really modulate the current and just give me really fine control when I'm starting the weld off, because I'm a bit paranoid that I'll blow through more of the muffler, so I just want to take every step I can to make sure that I'm not going to blow through. Other than that, no special settings really. So to tack this in place, I'm going to do one tack just here at this corner. There's a lot of good metal that I can weld the plate to, so this kind of seam around the end of the silencer that's good metal. I can put a lot of heat into that and I can be confident it's not going to make a hole. And I'll also put another tack just up here, and then when it's tacked on there, with the hammer I can gently tap this edge and get it to make flush with the surface of the silencer. Okay, so I've got the plate tacked in all four corners. Actually no, I've only got it tacked in three corners. Still to tack on here, but I was able to hammer it down once I'd put three of the tacks on, and I'm pretty happy with how this thing's fitting. There is a little bit of a gap here, but with a bit of careful welding I'll be able to bridge that. I was quite nervous about doing this tack here because it's into the kind of thin sheet on the silencer, but the weld took really well, so fingers crossed I can weld like that for doing the seams. Okay, so I'm having some real trouble welding along this bottom seam here, and I think basically the problem is that this seam in the silencer is just really quite rusty. So as soon as you put the arc on it, it just starts spitting at you. So my strategy for doing this is just to take it easy, build up the weld, use plenty of filler, try and burn off all the old crappy rust, and then I'll just maybe have to do it one or two passes on top of this base pass just to tidy everything up and make sure the join is gas tight and strong. Okay, so I finally finished welding the plate onto the silencer. I actually found this really challenging. I thought this seam along the bottom here would be a nice strong bit to weld onto, but in actual fact I think the whole thing's kind of corroded on the inside. So as I was trying to weld it, the welding pool would just spit at me. It was really hard. When that happened, it contaminated the tungsten, so I'd have to go and regrind it. Had to do a few passes at it. It is pretty ugly, but I'm confident that no exhaust gases will escape. It was a little bit easier to weld on the other edges, particularly down this edge here. We've got quite a good bead there. But yeah, this was really challenging to weld along here. But yeah, glad it's all finished now. So there you have it. if you've got a hole in your exhaust silencer and you want to repair it and you've got a bit of time, you can do so with a welder. I would say that if it's really rusty, it's probably not worth trying to repair it, because you'll just get so frustrated trying to weld it up. But yeah, you just need to decide what the best option is for you. So before I fit the silencer back into my Land Cruiser, I want to let you guys hear what the 1KZ-TE engine sounds like when it is just a straight pipe exhaust. So we'll get her fired up. Pop her into park. There we go. Okay. Sounds so good. There you go. So thanks for watching my video, guys. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye for now.